What's up, people? It's your boy Riley Escobar holding it down for y'all once again, and y'all listening to the Just Send It podcast. Y'all know the podcast created to generate debate, change perspectives, and just have those timeless conversations. Without further ado, this is episode 8, so we gonna actually get into the show, and I kind of got a story to tell, but let's get into it. Cue intro, please. What's good, fam? You alright, man? You chillin', man? Yeah, yo, I'm good, yo. You know, Gucci, out here maintaining, trying to do my thing, yo. It's good to know, man. What's good, fam? You good? Yeah, I'm good, yo. Try and flood the streets or whatever. You know how we do, man. We just try, we try to elevate. Briefcase state of mind, So, I know y'all probably wondering, like, damn, like, why did this episode come out so late? And I'm not gonna hold y'all. I was tired. Like, I've been tired this past week. So let's talk about the story, right? So this past week has been super duper hectic, right? Super hectic, right? And like as you see it in the title of the podcast, it say 30, 10, and 10. And y'all may be wondering, like, okay, what is the significance of that number? And like if work was like a sport, like a game, that's how many points, and that's the stats, that numbers that I put up last week. A couple days I put up, 30 points, shot 30 points, got 10 assists and like 10 rebounds. Like I was going off last week. So let's actually get into it. And it's funny because when I was like walking around the job and I was like, man, I dropped 30, 10, and 10 this week, like putting up these, MVP numbers, like killing the game. And I was actually like just telling people, like, man, you did your thing. You was cool today, but you did your thing. You got like 19 points and like 19 and 5. And people was laughing. It's funny. I was like, oh, shorty, oh yeah, you dropped like a cool 27, man. Like you was really like hitting it hard. A lot of people, they were just laughing and thought it was funny. But I was like, yo, like for real, like that's in my eyes, that's what y'all did, like based off the the work that y'all did and how productive y'all was this week, right? Or that day. And like one dude was like, yo, Twan, he's like, yo, you be following the sports and shit. And I be like, not really. I really don't be following the sports. I do watch them from time to time and pay attention to it because I just enjoy, the storylines. Like that's the thing that I really like. But I also like take like elements of like sports and I apply it to like a work setting. Like I apply it in my work. And a lot of people, they just think it's like very quirky and it's funny, or I'm trying to be funny, but like I'm dead serious. Like um I really admire sports a lot. Not just sports, but sports and business. And I kind of like combine the two, and marry the two in my work, as a culinarian, as a chef. So like some of the sports, right, I normally like try to like tie into my work day or into my work is basketball, football. Sometimes I'll reference boxing and etc. Right, and sometimes like I'll give like some of my employees, I'll kind of name them after basketball players, especially really good basketball players. I be like, yo, you was like Kobe, or you was like Jordan, or like you did your thing, like you was like Shaq, like oh, I see how you did that, like that was like a Tom Brady move, or like you really lashed out on like Tyson, like I really like that. And I really like apply these things into my work, right, as well as like the ideas that I find and that I read upon in terms of business. Like I like business. I like the idea of business and how it works and how each element kind of like affects the other. Like supply and demand, like using leverage. You could actively do something as far as business run, active income, or active working actively, or you can do it passively, like have someone else do it and still get the job done. So I and etc. Like I kind of like the ideas and like what do you call it? It's not the ideas. It's also like the what's the word for it? Like the word for the it's not concept, but it's something that pertains to business. It's like mm, not fundamentals. But yeah, but y'all know what I mean, man. Y'all know what I mean. If y'all know the words, the word I'm trying to get at, then please fill it in right here. But I like that. So um when it comes to like work, when it comes to work, team sports, and like video games and stuff like that, especially games with a squad, the role I typically play is I'm always kind of like the point guard, right? Primarily I fit the point guard, role. But like my other like secondary like positions that I may play may also be like the point man if we talking shooters. I'm known as the point man, the first person in. Like I'll take point, y'all guys follow me, make sure y'all back me up because I just got the better reflexes of a lot of people. And I for some reason I always find my way, wiggle my way out of jams for some reason. Like I never really go down, always wiggle my way out of a jam. So I was like, I'll run point. Um, or I'm always the support guy, the guy carrying that big dumbass LMG, land on cover fire in the back, yelling, "Cover me! I'm reloading!" Oh, okay, I'm reloaded, and then just coming out spraying. Um, some of the games that I do that like is like of course Call of Duty, but zombie games like World War Z, or like even games like the Division 1 and 2, like when we doing boss battles and raids and stuff like that. I love that role, to be the support gunner. That's kind of like my favorite joint. But like primarily when it comes to actually working like in a kitchen and in like a restaurant, the role I typically play is like the point guard. And like for y'all don't know, the point guard is like a very specialized role because like point guards are like responsible to like run the offense. Like they control the ball, they kind of control the pace of the game, and they make sure that like the rock and the resources get passed to the right player at the right time. Like that's kind of like primarily that job. They kind of like facilitate scoring, facilitate the team's success. And then sometimes they have to actually like facilitate for themselves. Like they gotta put themselves in a position that they can score. So like that's kind of like the role that I typically play um, when it comes to work. Is I normally like the point guard. And like some of the things that a point guard must possess, right, is like you gotta know strategy. You gotta know like offensive strategy, defensive strategy. You gotta know that, right? You gotta have vision. It's court vision in the terms when it comes to basketball, but you gotta have vision. Also, I would say that when it comes to a kitchen, you gotta be able to forecast, right? And a lot of people don't know and haven't mastered that skill yet, but being able to kind of like anticipate how many people may come today, or if it's gonna be a busy day or a slow day. Like it's gonna be a busy week or a slow week. And like there's some signs. If you experience cook or culinary, it's some signs that you just know. Like if it rains, it's a good possibility there's gonna be a lot of people in here. If it's too quiet, and that's happening a lot. If it's like really, really too quiet, like today is going a little bit too smooth, it's gonna get crazy. Like something is gonna be off. Like it's gonna be an item that's gonna be frozen that you gotta do. Some equipment is gonna be faulty. Like it's gonna be some crazy shit that just throw a monkey wrench in the day. But like me as a point guard, since I got like cube court vision, I got court vision. I'm able to forecast. It's something I'm always kind of like prepared for. And then you got to be able to like do the job. Like point guards have the ability to shoot, the ability to score. You got to be able to make yourself like a valuable player in the game. Like if you can't distribute it and pass to your teammates, you got to be able to like put up points for yourself, right? Set yourself up for success. And I'm able to do that, and then just keep your head up. A lot of times people work with their head down. It's only focused on their work. I focus on like what's happening everywhere in my unit, like where I work at, in my kitchen, in the Starbucks, in the next building over, like in the front office, in the back office, like in the dish area. Like I focus on like keep my head up when it comes to everything. Look at everything, touch everything, check everything, taste everything, to make sure like I'm paying attention to everything. And I'm not a manager. Like I'm not a manager. I'm not. I'm just a good leader, right? I'm just the point guard of the kitchen. Like that's kind of like my role. That's kind of like what I do, and like be vocal. And I be vocal a lot. And this funny thing is like people in at work, well, the people with the big egos at work, they kind of take like me being vocal or me asking them questions as like sarcasm. They're like, "Are you being smart or you being sarcastic?" And it's like, "No, I'm not being smart. I'm not being sarcastic. I'm asking you some real questions. Did you taste the soup? You know, is this what we're gonna have all the time? Are we gonna get this fake salmon in all the time, or are we gonna get some fresh salmon in? Or did you eat when you before you came here? Are you going to take a break and eat or not? Like people will be thinking like why I'm asking these questions, and it's like yo, I'm being vocal because I want to check and see where you at. I want to know what the flow of the business going to be. You know, are you in the right mind? Are you healthy, or are you gonna be injured today? Like, are you gonna be in Tsukiyomi today? Like, it's just a point guard thing. That's kind of like the type of person I am. So, I know you're kind of like wondering, like, okay, how does this also apply, like, to business, right? Or how like where I'm going with this? What am I just rambling? And I'm not, right? So like last week, oh, I said the mic. So last week, like on Thursday, for some reason, right? Well, scratch that. Let's actually take it from the top, right? So this past week, ever since November started, at work we had this little like it's called return to office thing. Like we were serving like maybe like 230 people a day, you know, lunch. However, like since COVID is kind of like fizzling out and jobs want people to come back, we had like a huge flux of like the population at the campus at the place I work come back, and it started like November 1st. So like we as the culinary unit, as the kitchen unit, we had to like change our whole entire menu to make it more simpler, and then we actually had to bring in like a bunch of like extra like workers and temps, um, so we can like have enough hands on deck to do all the work that need to be done. And like leading up to it, like the last week of October, I had to do like mandatory overtime. Like had to come in on a Saturday for like 8 hours to like prepare myself. And like my girl mate, he took off the Friday before, like he took off that Friday and didn't even come in on that Saturday. So it was like the first day he was gonna come in was gonna be the first day that all the new people was gonna come in, like that big flux of people was gonna come in. So like all week I was just, had the Birdman hands, like I was writing stuff down on the pad, like, okay, this is the play I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have 100, beef burgers on my station. I'm gonna have, 100 turkey burgers on my station. I'm gonna have 3 pans of these. I'm gonna stock the freezer. I'm gonna have every container filled with like omelet toppings and then some, right? So when I came in Monday, it was like this little like calm before the storm. It was kind of quiet. Nobody know what was gonna happen. But I kind of knew, like I was very confident. Like man, I did everything I needed to do. I checked every box that I needed to check in terms of what I needed to do, um, to set myself and my teammate up for success. So like I'm just waiting. I mean, my boss always asks me, "Are you ready for the day? You think you got everything?" I'm like, man, at this point, whatever happens, happen. Like I know I'm gonna be straight. It's just like I just gotta figure this stuff out like quick and like on the fly. So like the first day, when I say it was crazy, like the first day was just fucking crazy, right? The first day was fucking crazy because nobody didn't really know what to expect, right? Uh I always expect the worst, and the worst kind of happened. It was like poor communication. People was running all over the place. The system that they thought was going to work didn't work. It kind of broke down, and like a lot of stuff. It was a lot of like remakes. We need this remake. We needed this on the fly. We need this going down. Like it was crazy. And then we was working with a huge flux of like new people, like new people that are not part of our unit. So like the starter service was like super patchy. Um and then the communication like was shaky as well. But like throughout, all the craziness that happened that first day, I persisted. I was gassed and tired at the end of the day, but like I was persistent. I was locked in on my station, and me and my teammate was locked in because we communicated. But everywhere else, it was crazy. My bosses were having people like, "Oh, I need you to, grill chicken," and then stop them halfway through, and then say toast buns, and then stop that, and then have them go back to chicken, and like they forgot to do this. Like it was just fucking crazy. Um, and I don't know how I did it, but somehow like we made it through, right? And I was kind of pissed. Like at the end of that first day, I was pissed off because I was like, man, like this shit was like pure chaos. Nobody knew what the fuck they was doing because like I said, like I told you, I'm kind of like the point guard. My boss and like the execs, they did not say like, okay, this person is gonna hold down this front, gonna hold down the front. This person is gonna hold down expediting. This person is gonna hold down expediting from the grill. This person gonna hold down expediting from the deli. This person gonna just be floating around. They didn't really put people in like position. They just like, okay, we're just gonna have a lot of hands here to help, right? And it's like you got a lot of hands but no direction. But with me, like in my station, I told the grill guy, I said, yo, grill guy, you just cook. You just grill. We call it out to you, just grill. I'm gonna plate up, the temp. I said, man, you don't really know the menu. You just stay down there and be on standby. When I call for stuff, I need you to be ready for it. Like just listen and when I call for stuff. And like everybody was like, okay, cool, Twan, what we're gonna do. I said, trust me, it's gonna be kind of crazy, but we're gonna make it through. And the first day, like we made it through. It was tough on me. It was tough on the grill guy, but it wasn't tough on our temp worker, which was great. That's kind of what I wanted. I didn't want to break his spirit the first day with the difficulty. And then I think the sous chef was actually working next to me. And it was kind of tough on her because she's kind of like new to being a sous chef, but like it was tough on her. But I knew like, okay, day two of this shit is gonna be way better than day one. Like I just wanted to survive day one to see what I was working with. And like at the end of the day, I knew what I was working with. But like when I left, and it was crazy. When I left day one, my boss, she stopped me. She was like, "Oh yeah," she's like, "Thanks, friend, for doing that salmon." At the end of the day, right? And I was like, man, I ain't gonna lie to you. That's cooking that salmon was some bullshit. Like I was trying to prepare my line and my station for the next day, and I didn't get a chance to do that because like I said, like they told somebody to do a task and then stopped them, had them do another task, and then that task never got done. And it's like, oh, we need that item, we need that salmon for tomorrow. Like we need that for tomorrow. So I just happened to be the odd man to do it. But then let's say day two. So day two, I was like, you know what? Day two got to be better than the first day. Like I kind of already know what time it is. It got to be better than the first day. And then day two was kind of like it was like the same fuck shit that happened the day before because I didn't get a chance to set my station up and prepare myself. It kind of like bled into day two, right? So I was pissed the second day, but my communication was way better. Like the communication with my team was way better. I told the temp guy like, yo, today you like it's gonna be a little bit more. I'm gonna be asking a little bit more of you than I did yesterday. But I still wasn't really able to optimize the system that I had, right? And like let's talk about the system. I recently read this book by Robert Kiyosaki called like the cash flow quadrant, right? And in the book it talked about like business owners and investors, they on the other side, the right side of the quadrant. These people tend to like create systems, right? They create systems and they sell systems to people, right? People on the left side of the quadrant who's employees and self-employed, these people tend to be the system, right? So the only time they make money and things get done is when they are a part of it, right? So like the whole time, like the week before and that week, I was just like in my head, I was like, yo, what is the system over here? Because it got to be a new system because it's a new way of doing service. So I haven't yet found the system. Like things were still kind of like hectic that second day, but like things got a little bit better in terms of communication for sure. Like my station didn't lose any checks. The guys were still like really happy, in a good mood. The morale was still high. Um, if day one, and I said, like, I was telling people, like, if day one I dropped, 31 points and we won that game, I said then Tuesday I dropped 50 points and then lost. Like LeBron James. Like, I went off that second day. Like, that second day I went off. Like, I was like, yo, this seller's check. I got 8 chickens. Sell all 8 of these chickens. Bow, bow, bow. Pass me some fries. He passed me some fries. I played them up. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, Chef, you can sell this. Oh, can I take this? No, don't take this yet. I got this coming. Yo, let me put that chicken right here, put that right there, put that right there, put that right there. Oh, think. Okay. Thank you, por favor. And I was like in the zone. So I was kind of like going off. But like by the end of that day, I was kind of like beat the fuck up. And I felt like LeBron. Like, it was the second day of this shit, right? Our managers still didn't put people in position. Like, people didn't know what positions they played and what roles they played in the game. And I was like, okay, I fucking lost today. Dropped 51 points like LeBron in the finals. Lost, but I was like, yo, I played my position pretty well. So not everybody else did, but I played my position really, really well. And I gotta say, the other members of my team, like that was on the grill with me, on my station with me, they played their positions pretty well that day. Like, the chef manager, he held it down. The front of the house supervisor, she did like really well. She dropped 50 points, but lost. Well, at least in my eyes, she kind of lost, and she got cooked out there dealing with the customers. Customers pissed. This, and that. She got cooked that second day. Like, and this is unexpected. Like, this is like, yo, we gotta cook for 600 people. There's no telling what they're gonna order. Go. Like, it was kind of like that. Y'all got 15 minutes to produce it. Go. So it was kind of crazy. And then by day 3, man, I was locked in. I like day 3 was looking like a straight dub to me. I don't know why it was such a success. Maybe because, like, off the rip when I came in, I kind of linked on a couple managers for real over some fucking onions. But like day 3, and the crazy thing about day 3, I came in a good mood, and then somebody kind of like a manager kind of pissed me off about like an item that I didn't have, like that I had on my list, and I was like, yo, like, I got it on my list, I gotta do it today, and she just kept on being like forceful and pushy, and I'm like, yo, I got it on my list today, and she just was like, yo, well, it should have been done, and I'm like, yo, y'all people was trying to get the fuck out of here Tuesday, the day that I lost. Like, y'all was trying to get the fuck out of here Tuesday. Y'all didn't give a fuck about prepping nothing or doing nothing. I said, you know what? I'll just take care of it in the morning. I got plenty of time. When I came in, I took care of it. But I guess I don't know what happened. I guess somebody heard me lean on her about the onions. I didn't even have to cut the onions that day. Another guy that like fucks with me hard, he was like, yo, I'm gonna do the onions for you. Do something else. And I'm like, I got it, man. Not that big of a deal. He said, man, I got you. Next thing you know, I was being dragged into the meeting with people like, yo, you good? What's up with you? You linked on somebody this morning? I don't know. But like that Wednesday, when I told you was my best performance. I stayed like in the middle of the T. We kind of like had a T formation. I was in the middle at the top of the T. To the left was my sous chef, and to the right was the temp worker, and then the grill guy was behind me. And I told people like to stay in that place. Like, I kept people in that place. People was like, oh, I want to run past you and give her the fries. I like just handed it to me. I handed it, gave it to her. I handed stuff back to him. I handed my sous chef orders to sell. Like, I really like orchestrate everything. And I realized like that second day, like, okay, I'm the point guard of it, but I don't always have to be the person vocal. All I gotta do is you know, catch the food and the items and the responsibility that falls through the cracks. So like I kind of like let up on like calling the checks and being the orchestrator and yelling the stuff to it. And I just let my sous chef take that. You can have that. I just paid attention to everything she did. Like, I was her shadow. and like I took care of anything that fell through the cracks that she was missing, and anything like any errors that the other guys made, I made sure that everything was right. And that's that third day, that Wednesday, I went off. I dropped 30 points, got 10 assists, 10 rebounds. I had like a great day. And then next thing you know, like Thursday was like a repeat of like Wednesday. Like but Thursday was different. And like this is the reason why like I mentioned like the cash flow quadrant, and I mentioned that business, right? Thursday was kind of different because like for like 20 minutes my boss, she was like standing behind, you know my team, like in a corner. Like she was standing behind the grill in a corner, right? Same thing. The sous chef calling out the orders. I'm plating everything up, getting everything ready. Distributing bread and fries to people and everything, and keeping track of everything, making sure we don't miss no checks. What we didn't all week. All week with me, point guarding, we ain't missed no checks, no remakes, no where's this at, grill? We was on the ball and we was making great time for the situation that we was in. But like later that day, later that like she was watching me for a minute, right? And then next thing you know, like she swapped out the sous chef and then came on the line and actually was working with me. And she was like, "So what is the system here? Like, how are you working? What you doing?" And I'll say, "Yo, just call the checks as they come in, and like I'll take care of anything that falls through the cracks. Like I'm paying attention." And like I guess she didn't understand like what her role was, because she was making a lot of mistakes. Maybe because the sous chef was riding with us for 2 3 days, so she kind of better understood how we worked. But like the boss was kind of shaky, so I was like, okay, I guess I got to be vocal this Thursday instead of the sous chef being vocal. So I was vocal. I was telling him, I need you to do this. I need 3 of those, 2 of those, good. Thank you. I appreciate that. Pass me this. I was really like locked in because it was crazy. It was crazy. It was busy. And all I want to do is get my team home, like get my team through the rush and home without any problems, any issues, anything coming back. Like that's the thing I wanted to do. But at the end of the day, um, my boss, she seen me. She was like, "Yeah, like I like to congratulate you. I appreciate what you did on the line. Like you really stepped into your own. And like the thing that I seen when you first got hired as you being like a potential sous chef in the future, like I seen that. Like you really did your thing." And like I be having a tough time, and I think I told y'all about this. I be having a tough time when it comes to compliments, right? Because I be like, man, like in my heart and soul, I be like wanting to say like, yo, like it's cool, like don't worry about it. Or I'll be like, man, I try my best. That's my favorite line. I always say I try my best because I really do. Like I really try my best in everything I do. But my grandma was like, she was like, when somebody give you a compliment, just say thank you, you know. And I'd be like, man, I don't even really know what to say. She said, just say thank you. So I said thank you. But like also kind of like told my boss, and I don't think she was understanding. She tended to don't be listening like that. I was like, yeah, we did a great job today, and like we had another great day. I said like we had another great day. I said, but this is not the first day it's been like this. Like Wednesday was like this. We had a great day. Tuesday was tough, but we had a great day. Monday was crazy, but we had a great day. Like the stuff that you seen me like orchestrating, the distributing, and facilitating. I've been doing that all week. Like this is just your first time that you noticed it. I've been doing that since I actually got hired there. I've been facilitating and putting people in place. I just don't go around the kitchen just bragging and talking like say, oh, that's me. I'm the reason why I did that. Like, no, like I give, the people that flowers, like, yeah, you did your thing today. I appreciate that. And they say stuff to me, like the cooks, you know, they pull me to a side. Thank you, Twan. I really appreciate that. Yo, if you would have never told me to do double of that dressing, man, I probably wouldn't have made it. I appreciate you doing that for me. Like, that's what's up. And I'd be like, I try my best, but I'd be like, man, thanks, man. I appreciate that. They were like, yo, you really is super dope, man. I'm gonna bring you something tomorrow, bro. Bring you a breakfast. Right. But I was having this conversation with her, and I was like, I said, yeah, we had a great service this Thursday. The only issue, right? Cause I told her like the issue is like, um, I'm kind of the system. Like I'm the system. Cause she noticed like, oh, you make sure nothing get messed up and nothing fall through the cracks. I say, yeah, I'm like the fail state. But I say like, if I'm the system and I'm not there working, you know, then things are not going to go smoothly. And I said, this is week one of this crazy change that they be doing at work, and I just wanted to get from Monday to Friday. That's all I wanted to do to get through with the team morale and everything being high. But I said like next week I'm planning to switch things up. Like next week is not going to be like what you see. Like next week I'm going to empower, my teammates to do a little bit more, to, run point like I run point, you know, have a more active role. I'm not going to be catching all the cracks. I'm going to need them to catch, their mistakes. I can't keep doing this because, like, if I'm the system and I take off, then that means that nothing is going to be right. Everything is going to go up in flames. So, like, you got to teach people and empower people to, be better, or you got to make a system that is just not you, like not that doesn't just work because you're there. And like I guess she wasn't really listening, or she was like, oh, she must think I was just talking or something like that. But like in that book with Robert Kiyosaki, he said that like that what business owners do. Like business owners, they create a system that will be successful without them being there. And like self-employed and employed people, they are the system. And if they don't show up, you don't show up mentally or you don't show up physically, then things are not gonna go great. And like I don't know, my boss, she just wasn't listening, but it's just crazy. But I went off last week, went off for 30, 10 and 10, dropped some crazy numbers at work. I'm telling you, and this is food service. Food service is I can't keep doing this shit. Food service is just fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy. It's fucking hectic. You know, the work conditions is crazy. The customers act crazy. The employees are crazy. It's just too crazy, too wild for me. Like I've been in the game 10 years. I think I said it in another podcast. I've been in this cooking for 10 years and like it's crazy. But we made it through. And like the reason why this podcast is kind of coming out late because like after that week that I had last week just making it through, I was completely exhausted. I slept for like 12 hours after work that Friday, and then that weekend I was babysitting my niece and then I slept for like 9 hours. Like I was down for the count. I was coming home every day just think I'm just going to lay down for like an hour and falling asleep, waking up mad as shit that I got all my clothes on. I still got to like take my clothes off, hop in the shower and get ready for the next day. Like the shit was just kind of crazy, fam. Like it was really crazy. Like really crazy. But man, when you to go to this shit, it's no telling. Like when you to go to this shit, that's what people expect. And that's one of the things I don't like. Like she keeps, I don't like. I don't like when like people see you have a goat performance and they expect you to be a goat every day. And I be like, yo, I just dropped 30 today. I just dropped 30 yesterday. You want me to drop 30 today too? Like not all like great players always drop these like remarkable numbers, these triple doubles. They don't always do that. Like, so you can't always expect me to do that, right? Or like what happened when I'm on injury reserve and I take off or I'm having a sick day? Who gonna lead the team? Like who's gonna come in here and drop 30? And like I do like the fact that like a lot of the people that I kind of mentor or like I call my apprentice at work. Shout out to Ash who was on the podcast and the dude Russ. Uh, those people I call my apprentices, they've been showing up. Like last week was stressful, but they made me laugh all last week. My throat was hoarse. Damn near like pissed myself, spit take, all that shit. They made me laugh all last week. They dropped crazy numbers. They was super productive. They really led the charge for that given positions, the deli position, front of the house. They really like did their thing last week. And I was like, damn, yo, y'all really was cooking last week, like for real. Y'all been cooking ever since the corporate Zoom meeting when y'all was in there, with the Q&A section dropping knowledge on people. Y'all been cooking. And like they still cooking this week. It's just everybody is kind of gassed and kind of tired. And like you would think that things would get better and easier as things go along, but even this week has been crazy. Like today is like a Wednesday. Today is a Wednesday, and like the idea is to make the menu simple so you can produce a lot of items super quickly. However, like for some reason, management just don't listen, right? They have build your own omelets on the breakfast side of things. People, and the funny thing is like these management is not even paying attention to breakfast. Like they're only paying attention to, how can we facilitate these people for lunch. They're not thinking about the people that come in for breakfast. So this morning for breakfast was busy from 7:15 all the way to 9:30. So like I didn't have an opportunity to do none of my duties, like as far as setting myself up for lunch until like 9:40. And like I still wasn't enough time to do everything I needed to do. But it was crazy. Like it was like 40 a 15-minute period, 40 checks came in, all omelets, all build your own omelets, all tomato, mushroom this, spinach, mushroom that, no this, that. It was all custom omelets. Like it was fucking crazy. And it was like, dang, like yo, y'all really expect me to have a superstar performance right here on the breakfast? Like this early at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I still gotta do the lunch service and go off at doing lunch too. All I could do is just shake my head like, man, yo, this cannot be it. Yo, this is not it. But that shit is kind of crazy, fam. Like I keep telling people, I tell all my friends, yo, y'all need to stop putting gold in y'all resume. If the job is killing y'all and overworking the shit out of y'all need to stop putting goat on y'all resume. Y'all might need to have to go down a couple times, fuck up a couple times, burn some stuff, file something the wrong way. You might have to do that a couple times to let these people know, like, oh, like I can't leave bro like unsupervised, like he be messing up. So you can get that help, because when you put gold in your resume and they realize like you super duper nice at what you do, oh man, like getting that help is like far and few between. Shit is crazy, fam. But other than that, man, this is the Just Send It podcast show. This is with your boy, the man, the myth, the legend, Riley Escobar. And like, yo, that's my story to tell. 30, 10 and 10 superstar performance. And we having another crazy week. So hopefully I can get out this job. Hopefully, I'm praying. Hopefully I can get out this job. But other than that, that's episode 8. Tune in next week. I'm out. Yo, shout out to Melly, Val, Megan Man, Infinite Records with the Infinite Crescent, SMG, and the whole clique. Let's go. Yo, my man Val, he told me that he was 101. Or maybe he told me that he was number one. I don't know how he said, just having fun. There's a lot of shit that's cool that I haven't done. I haven't locked in the game yet on some power shit. Or hosted a meeting with street astrologists. Or moved away from home and had a lot of kids. I'm just playing, you feel me? Y'all know y'all got the gist. I made moves, introduced crews to other crews so we can improve and reach our higher goals. Yeah. Caravan and coupes, long ride alongs. Don't need to scoop me, my nigga. I know we got our own. Yo, Escobar whipping up in the latest Z. B more to Cali, and then we just switch to A to B. Y'all know that I'm gonna take the lead. Ha, followed by Mega and T. Double tree, we be pulling up. Melly even brought the Miata, he cool or what? Even Main came through with something that's new to us. Keys ditch the hoopty for a Honda, he moving up. Parking lot filled to the brim, they sick of us. Leave a big tip before we leave, we generous. Manager hit me in the Z, come visit us. We gotta go, but we will double back. Treat the whole road like a track. Esco did that. It's more than putting words up in these raps. There's more. I'm trying to turn these words into the facts, and that's a fact. That's a fact. 10 stacks, always keep it 10 toes. If you're winning, I always commend, bro. I always commend, bro. My man Val, he told me that he was 1-to-1. 1-to-1. Or maybe he told me that he was number one. Number one. I don't know how he said it, just having fun. There's a lot of shit that's cool that I haven't done. It is. I haven't locked in the game, yeah, on some power shit. Power shit. I hosted a meeting with street astrologists. I moved away from home and had a lot of kids. I'm just playing, you feel me? Y'all know you got the gist. Please respect it, please. And if you can't respect it, then check it, then we will wreck it. Yo, crack your ship. No talking, you really gotta back your ship. Buccaneers coming through, they will snatch your script. Ha, we made a wave, but even though we looking unscathed, there was some days when we would say this not enough. Tip said hi, still trying to triple up. I'm trying to triple the triple, then rip a triple up. Go, straight madness, all for the love of the fam and not the cabbage. Go, green, icebreaker spinach can leave you lavish. Go, still chasing stat shit, I'm winning up on you bastards. Still work my magic, these Escobars everlasting. Trying to keep them moving, I'm cruising, I'm never stagnant. I see. Live life, build up your crew and find your passion. The lyrical assassin, who knew this shit was my passion? I didn't know, I was just cool enough, shit is happening. Yo, photo shoots and videos, working on projects on top of videos. They say we ladies, so we get litty, bro. More to the views and more to the news in the city, yo. Never forget it. I always stayed the course no matter where I was headed. I was livid, but still did it the next the ball. I found my own way when I wrote Escobar. Still been giving them extra bars. Still been living life extra large. Always taking charge. I'm the first to barge and lead the way. Not much more I need to say. Still in the hood like E and J. Fuck all that bitch and we need to pay. I see you, babe. When there is a will, there's a way. I see you, kid. Things it just is what it is. This for my niggas. I'm glad that I did what I did. So SMG can get ahead, yo. Yeah.